What's up, YouTube? This your girl XOXO that girl. Name change is definitely coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. Okay, so I'm not gonna be long. I just want to go through the pros and cons of Instacart shopper. Okay, I want to give y'all some tips and tricks as well. So I'm gonna start with the pros. Okay, I also have my notes here on my phone, so just bear with me. Okay, so the first one for pros will be flexible schedule. So you can work whenever you want to work. So as long as the stores are open, you're good to go. Okay, so flexible schedule, fast cash out. So you can literally cash out same day, and it is instant. There is like a 50-cent fee, I believe, so you will have to pay that fee out of whatever you made, and then it will be instantly deposited into your account. Okay, so the next one is earn tips. Tips is a little like, and I'm not gonna say everybody tip, but it definitely depends on the area you are in, where it will fluctuate on the type of tips you will receive. Because I live in Georgia, right? So if I go to Atlanta, the tips are different. It's really different, and it also depends on the time that you go. So, I mean, it's just up and down. So in my area, tips can vary from $2 to $5. That ain't no real tip. You get what I'm saying? So, depending on the area, the busy area, that's probably where you want to Instacart shop at. The next one is you need a phone and you need a car. So if you got a phone and you got a car, you good to go. Okay, it don't matter what year or anything like that, but you just do need to have a vehicle to get around. Okay, and the last one is it also keeps you active. Okay, that's the pros of that. So you can skip your gym membership if you was thinking about getting a gym membership. Skip that for now, and you're going to be really active on this app, so you don't really need no gym membership. Okay, I have one because I like to go somewhere else besides home. Okay, especially when I was working from home at the time, I wanted somewhere else to go, so I still got my membership. Okay, so we're going to get into cons. I have a lot on here, not that many, okay, but it's a good amount. So the cons are unpredictable earnings. Okay, you cannot predict how much you're gonna make for that day. Sometimes I make less than $100, which I have to make more than $100 a day to be able to make my bills. Okay, this is not an app where it's very consistent, unless you just have a lot of time on your hands, to where I would say if you don't have no kids, because it's so hard to shop with kids. I can't even shop with my son when we shopping for our own things. Okay, so I don't see how it would work unless you're taking small orders. If you're taking small orders, 10 or less items, I think it would be okay. But just know the pay would not be, it won't be good. Well, it won't be a decent amount type of thing. A decent amount to me is 2 digits. So 10 and up, really 20. I like to start my day, my mornings when I first turn the app on. I want to get a $20 to $30 order. That's the most that I've seen. So I try to get one of those orders to start my day, to make it quicker. Okay, so you just can't predict how much you will make in that day. Not all areas going to be in high demand, and if it is in high demand, just know that there will be other delivery drivers and stuff that are in that area too, that's trying to accumulate that money. So I would say, if you want to make this a side hustle, make it a side hustle. But if you're depending on this to be your only source of income, I would not do that. Okay, you're gonna be in a rude awakening. Okay, another con is budgeting. Okay, for me, I like to stay in my area because of gas, mileage, and everything in that sort. Okay, So if it's too slow, I do try to go somewhere else, but I try to stay in my area because of that. You know, you got to pay for your own gas. That adds up, and you have to pay for your own maintenance, you know? So it's like the miles, the gas, all that adds up. So you don't want to spend too much time lollygagging. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is, you know, moving from one store to another store in the same area where it say it's low demand. But sometimes I'm noticing, cause I like to go home when it's slow. I like to come home because I'm like, okay, I'm not too far from the store. I'm literally down the street from the store, so I know I would get an order faster. But I'm noticing when you're sitting outside of the store, you do get an order faster than anybody else that isn't closer to the store. Okay, so that is a little trick right there that you want to, you know, put it in your notes, but it does work. And it would tell you like how long, you know, shoppers will get orders within 5 to 15 minutes or something like that. They would tell you that on the app. Okay, so another con is, y'all don't want to hear this one. Okay, another con is that the app glitches a lot. Okay, I really do not like that, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. But the app does glitch, and I can give y'all an example of a glitch. Okay, not so long ago, which was like last week. Yeah, so last week I was shopping and it was a good order. When I tell you, it was like $28, almost $30. But it was the timing. I had to go get my son, but I'm like, okay, if I can finish doing this and then I can go get my son and then drop the orders off. You know, you got to try to, you know, make it work for you. I'm like, okay, I know I'll be able to do it because I know the store at the back of my hand. Like, this is my store. Like, I know where everything is at. So I actually got done. I went to the counter. It said decline, 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 decline. When I said I called customer service would not answer. They would not message me back. That's what I mean by a glitch. That was a real big glitch. And then they was like, yeah, you can drop the order and you would still be paid. I tried to drop the order. I could not drop the order. Everybody that I was shopping for was upset. So my ratings, it went down. But I think they took it off because they said it wouldn't affect since they know it's a glitch. But that is what I mean. And another example is like sometimes you can be in a store and the app would just not connect. Like it literally would disconnect in the middle of you like you know, scanning the order or something like that, because sometimes there's just no Wi-Fi inside of the store. So, you know, you just gotta sit there and wait. And that is like a downfall because I have like 2 stores that always, no, okay, it just never works out. But you just gotta kind of remember exactly what you need to get, you know what I'm saying, you be good. So yeah, I got 1 minute left, so I'm gonna stop here and then I'll be right back because it's gonna turn off on me and I don't need that. Okay y'all, so I'm back. Anywho, cons. So the last thing we were talking about was glitches. Now we're talking about, we're gonna be doing lots of lifting. Okay, so I advise that you try to preview what you're going to get and put in that buggy. Okay, because sometimes people be getting carried away and be like, well, since I'm not the one who carrying it or getting it, I'm gonna put 10 waters on here. Okay, people do that. And I would politely be like, you know what? They might really be thirsty. I would get 1 or 2, depending on it. It just depends. Like if I have 2 orders or whatever, and each order wants water, I would literally get 1 water for each order, because I barely want to get y'all any water anyways. So, you know what I'm saying? Be mindful. Try to preview what you're going to get, because you're going to be doing a lot of lifting, okay? So, if you need to, get you a back brace or whatever, because that buggy do get heavy. Especially when you get the pushing it, it gets heavy, okay? All right. So another con is low ratings. Low ratings can limit your access to higher paying batches and also batches that are available. The batches, I would say, like, if you have a high rating, you get batch faster and you get the best priority for that batch. So you do want to kind of keep up your reviews. So if you want to, not DM, but message your customers, like, yes, I would appreciate it if you give me a 5-star. That would definitely help your ratings, just so you can stay up to date with all the good batches. Okay. Another thing is there is no benefits, no health insurance. There's nothing. I would say they do have things in the app where if you different milestones, so it's like when you reach different milestones, I guess they have like a discounted oil change and stuff. I haven't used it, but I know they do have like stuff like that, but you gotta earn it, so that's the only benefit that I've seen, but there is no no health insurance or anything like that. Okay. Another con is like time. Time is a big one. So if you are at home like me in the mornings, I still be in here trying to get dressed, get my son dressed, whatever, and I be like looking at my phone trying to see which order I'm going to take before I leave out and go get and take him to school, whatever. So if you know that you're not going to be ready within like 10 minutes of you accepting that order, I advise you not to do it, because the more and more you cancel a batch or whatever, it lower your rates as well. So just be mindful of when you accepting the order, just know that you should be leaving out at least 10 minutes, no longer than 10 minutes, because they're going to be on your tail and they will cancel that batch, and you're going to be sick, especially if you get you a good batch. Oh my gosh. Okay. So now I want to go over like some pros and cons. It's not many. I got 3 minutes left because I can't delete anything else. I would say staying organized. Like when you have more than one batch, it's kind of difficult to stay organized. So one of the ways that I stay organized, I will insert a picture. So I would literally be like, okay, left. Okay, the first thing I would do, I would see how many items there is for each one. So the most items will be in the buggy. The least amount of items, it will probably be on the side or up top where you have your kid sit. You will put that there, like if you got, so you just organize it in that way. It makes it easier. Or sometimes I would literally get like one of the carrying carts. I don't know what it's called. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I would get one of those to be able to separate it as well. So I would put that in there or put it underneath the cart to be able to separate, and I know what is what. Okay. How to stay under your time. One of the ways I stay under my time is that I literally before I get in the store, I would literally just go through everything, go through all the orders, see where I need to start first. Because like in Kroger, for instance, it has the aisle numbers. So it say aisle 1, you need to get this, that, and the third. So I will go through every one to see if the other order has something in that aisle to be able to get, so I don't have to keep constantly going back and forth. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so another one is how to find item faster. So one of the ways that I find items faster is just like how I just told you, looking at the aisle numbers and stuff like that and going through each one. So I would literally do that. I would start with like, for me, I always start in the produce area, and then I will work my way towards the other way. Sometimes the grocery store doesn't have the produce like on the side that I start, so it kind of fucks me up. So I just like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna start from whatever aisle I'm at and move forward that way. You just gotta have a strategic plan. So when you in the store, you don't want to spend so much time in a store, because you know time is money, and the longer you stay in the store, you could be, you know, delivering that item and, you know, getting back to the bag to get another order, you know. This is the last one. When to look for the best batches. The best time to look for the best batches is in the morning. In the morning and after 5. I don't know why after 5, but after 5 and on the weekends. I don't work weekends, but I notice it's always money on the weekends. I turn the app on and I see. So I guess a lot of people don't work on the weekends. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one.